So we have a little kirtan,
Yes.
and then we're going to read Bhagavad Gita, and then we're going to study
Follow Srila Prabhupada's lecture.
Prabhupada's lectures, the transcriptions.
Right.
Here we go. Hi. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radha Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Paramachakacharya Asa Sarasata Shishimai His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Hare Krishna. I'm going to have to leave the session and come back in because your mic, I muted your mic because there was a lot of background noise. So I'm just going to leave and come back in and that'll clear it because I can't seem to clear it from here. So I'll be right back. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Uh-oh, where did you go? Hare Krishna. Krishna Priya? Krishna Priya, where are you? Yeah. Where's Radha Gopinath? Krishna Priya, Radha Gopinath, Srila Prabhupada. Where are you? Hare Krishna. Man, just wait. You should come back. Krishna. Jai Shri Krishna. Technical difficulties here. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Where are you going? Krishna Priya. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. All right, let's see what happens here. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Let's read a little something till Mataji can get back online. Let's read something from. Hello? I hear a sound. Someone there? Hare Krishna.
Haribol?
Jai Prabhu. I'm sorry, it was probably me.
Yes, I had to log in again.
When
I
I
lost the connection.
when I was chanting, there were a lot of sounds, like you were trying to maybe readjust a position, and it was like a lot. So I muted your microphone, and then I did it to come back on. You know what? When someone's reading or chanting, it might be a good idea for the other
switch
person.
off the microphone.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Because I can do it from here, but then sometimes I can't turn it back on.
Right.
Oh,
Well, I'm going to try to be as still as I possibly can. So I
okay.
won't need to change the position.
Okay. All right. But you can turn a person can turn their own mic off and on.
I know, but the thing is, I have to change from page to page in order to go to the other page for the reading.
Oh, because you're on the
Yeah,
mobile.
because I don't have a divided screen in this.
Okay.
It'll be too small.
All right. Whatever. Hare Krishna.
So but actually that is good to find out as well, because if we can also without, then people can also join in with iPhones and things.
Yes. Yes. And
And
see how to do it. I have to see how to
yes,
do it. Yeah.
be mobile and still be part of it.
Yes. Hare Krishna. All right. Were you going to chant a little too, or is that good for you in your situation?
Well, I think it's enough. You chanted.
Okay. Okay. Time to
So
go. Yeah.
I'm curious to find out how this works.
Yeah.
Reading from Srila Prabhupada's lecture.
I think it'll work just fine. Let's. All right. So I'm going to read the verses, and
Yes.
then we're going to
Okay.
start on the lecture transcription. Okay.
If you read chapter 1 to 5, you can read the.
Okay.
But the translations are here.
So what should I do?
If you read the Sanskrit,
Okay. Okay. I'm not clear what I read the Sanskrit in the verses, or
Sanskrit and whatever you want, Sanskrit and the translation, or because Tamakrishna Maharaj does read the translations, not the Sanskrit,
oh,
and
all
maybe this from
right,
the abridged Gita. I
all
don't
right.
know.
Okay. Whatever you have in the transcript then. And
Yeah, so we can
you'll be
maybe straight.
Prabhupada and I'll be everybody else.
Oh, okay,
How's that?
Mataji.
Okay. All right. So let me get on that page because I went to the Gita. I didn't know that that was going on there. I thought maybe they'd read the verses and then, they were just discussing.
You
But
don't have the page, Mataji, of the transcription in front of you?
what I'm doing here is I'm on the internet and I have the site open and I was looking at Bhagavad Gita. So now I'm going to switch and go to lectures and
Okay.
find, where we're working from. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Okay, I got it.
Okay.
Don't worry about the phone call. It's not that loud.
Okay. Now that's why my son is
Yeah,
talking.
don't worry about it. It's okay.
So, yes, this is the Bhagavad Gita lecture on chapter 3, verses 1 to 5.
Okay,
By
Kirtan
Srila
followed by
Prabhupada.
Vani prayers. Jayam Vishnupad, Paramahamsa, Paramajiktacharya, Asa Saraswata. Sri Sriman is Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Prabhupada. Srila
Ki
Prabhupada.
Jai.
Okay. So you're Prabhupada.
Can I? But can I read Prabhupada's parts?
You're Prabhupada, and I'll be everybody
Okay.
else.
This lecture is from Los Angeles, December 20, 1968. So Prabhupada says, that door is open. People will see. The door is read.
Tamal Krishna. Chapter 3, Karma Yoga 1. Quote, Arjuna said, O Janardana, O Keshava, why do you urge me to engage in this ghastly warfare if you think that intelligence is better than fruitive work? Bhagavad Gita 3:1. End translation. Purport. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, has very elaborately described the constitution of the soul in the previous chapter, with a view to delivering his intimate friend Arjuna from the ocean of material grief. And the path of realization has been recommended, Buddha Yoga, or Krishna consciousness. Sometimes this Krishna consciousness is misunderstood to be inertia, and one with such a misunderstanding often withdraws to a secluded place to become fully Krishna conscious.
Okay. And Srila Prabhupada gives the extra purport here. He says, yes, This is a very important point. Sometimes it is thought that spiritual life means to retire from active life. That is general impression. People think that for cultivation of spiritual knowledge or self-realization, they should go to the Himalayan caves or some secluded place. That is also recommended, but that sort of recommendation is meant for persons who are unable to engage themselves in activities of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is teaching Arjun how one can remain in this position. Never mind whatever he is, still he can become perfectly in Krishna consciousness. That is the whole substance of the teachings of Lord Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also, he never asked anybody to change his position. He simply recommended that you associate with pure devotees and hear from him. That's all. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never asked anybody that, quote, you first of all, end quote. Just like Sankaracharya. Sankaracharya's theory is that you first of all become a sannyas in renounced order of life. Then you try to understand what you are, Sankhya philosophy. Therefore, according to their system, anyone who takes sannyas, he is supposed to be immediately merged into the existence of God. Therefore, they address Narayan. In Sankara Sampradaya, one sannyasi addresses another sannyasi as Narayan. But here in Krishna consciousness movement, there is no condition. The only condition is that is not condition, that is recreation. Just like we have got this nice place, we invite people, please come and join with us. Not necessarily that one has to come and dance with us or sing with us. Simply if he comes and sees our activities, that is also a great benefit. Simply if somebody appreciates, oh, these boys and girls, they are doing nice, that will be also beneficial for him. Then gradually he will grasp. But people are so obstinate that in spite of repeated requests that please come and join with us, they have no time. Go on, yes. Sometimes,
Tamal Krishna speaks. Sometimes this Krishna consciousness is misunderstood to be inertia, and one with such a misunderstanding often withdraws to a secluded place to become fully Krishna conscious by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada responds, sometimes the so-called devotees of Krishna in Vrindavan, you will find that they are keeping themselves in a secluded place and supposed to be chanting Hare Krishna. But practically, it has been seen that by such artificial way of becoming Krishna consciousness, it does not make anyone advanced. I have seen practically. They are living in a secluded place, chanting Hare Krishna, but practically, when he comes out, he is smoking. You see, he cannot give up even smoking. And what to speak of this material world? You see, that is artificial. That is not recommended. First, you all become mature, then secluded place. Otherwise, there is no secluded place. Maya is everywhere. Maya will dictate, oh, you are so tired? Why don't you come out and smoke a cigarette? Yes, and he thinks he's advancing. The nonsense is advancing. So, no, phalena parichiyate. By the result, one has to be judged how far he has advanced. Similarly, there are so many persons, they are meditating. What meditating? Nonsense? What is their character? If you challenge their character, nonsense. So this sort of things will not help. Come practically forward, just like our students going door to door, chanting Hare Krishna, and people are taking advantage of it. They are hearing. So this process is beneficial to the public. Even a small child who joins here, he also claps, tries to clap. So this Krishna consciousness movement is not to remain in a secluded place to get cheap advertisement. Oh, this man is meditating. No, go, practically work. Just like Lord Jesus Christ, he practically worked. So there is practical work. No question of going into a secluded place. We should remain in the congested city and preach this Krishna consciousness movement without being affected by this contamination of city life. That is perfection. They shall not be contaminated, touched by the contamination of the city life. But still, they go on with Krishna consciousness. That is perfection. Yes, go on.
Tamal Krishna continues reading the purport in the Gita. But without being trained in the philosophy of Krishna consciousness, it is not advisable to chant the holy name of Krishna in a secluded place, where one may acquire only cheap adoration from the innocent public. Arjuna thought of Krishna consciousness, or Buddhi Yoga, intelligence and spiritual advancement of knowledge, as something like retirement from active life and the practice of penance and austerity at a secluded place. In other words,
Prabhupada says, yes, Arjuna is asking that you say that Krishna consciousness is very good. Why are you engaging me in this fight? That is his question. So, Krishna will answer this question. General people understand that retiring from ordinary duties, one becomes spiritually advanced. That is being taught here. It is not like that. Krishna taught to the whole world that Arjun was a soldier, he was a fighter. And his fighting also, he can be Krishna conscious. It is not that he has to cease from fighting and then become Krishna conscious. No, there is no such question. There is no rejection of anything, but dovetailing everything. That is the process. Do everything, but in Krishna consciousness. If you are a fighter, fight, but for Krishna. If you are a businessman, all right, do business for Krishna. If you are something else, do that, but for Krishna. That is wanted. This is called Krishna consciousness. To dovetail everything with Krishna. Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagyam Uchyate. Yuktam Vairagya, real renunciation, is to dovetail everything for Krishna. That is renunciation. Not remuneration that I will earn whole time millions of dollars and distribute among my children and are all engaged in some other way and I become Krishna conscious in a secluded place. No, you can begin Krishna consciousness from the very beginning. Earn for Krishna, spend for Krishna, think for Krishna, work for Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Fight for Krishna. Nothing to be rejected. Everything to be dovetailed with Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues with the purport. In other words, he wanted to skillfully avoid the fighting by using Krishna consciousness as an excuse. But as a sincere student, he placed the matter before his master and questioned Krishna as to his best course of action. In answer, Lord Krishna elaborately explained karma yoga, or work in Krishna consciousness, in this third chapter.
Srila Prabhupada responds, yes, karma means action, fruitive action. Everyone is working in this world to get some result. Somebody is working in business, earning millions of dollars yearly. Why he is earning? He is earning for his sense gratification. As soon as he has got money, he changes his car, he changes his apartment, changes his standard of life only for increasing. The whole world is working so hard, and the result is that increasing their objects of sense gratification. That is called karma. Karma means to enjoy the results of your activities. And when it is karma yoga, that means the activities which is your occupation. You can engage yourself in that activity, but don't engage the result for your sense gratification, but for satisfaction of Krishna. That is called karma yoga. Yoga means to link up with the Supreme. And karma, you are inclined to work. All right, work. But link up your result of work with Krishna. That is called karma yoga. Yoga means linking up with the Supreme. And karma, when it is linked up with Krishna, that is called karma yoga. It will be explained. Now go on.
Tamal Krishna continues with the purport. 2. My intelligence, verse 2, my intelligence is bewildered by your equivocal instructions. Therefore, please tell me decisively what is beneficial for me. Bhagavad Gita 3:2.
Here Prabhupada continues, yes, people think it is equivocal. I ask you to become spiritualists. Still, I ask you to work ordinarily. Go, work like this, work like this. They will think, what sort of spiritual life this is? They are also earning money, they are also working in the factory, or they are also doing this or that. So to the ordinary man, it appears equivocal, but it is not equivocal. That is the real process of working. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues, purport. In the previous chapter, as a prelude to Bhagavad Gita, many different paths were explained, namely Sankhya Yoga, Buddhi Yoga, controlling the senses by intelligence, work without fruit of desire, the position of the neophyte, etc. This was all presented unsystematically. A more organized outline of the path would be necessary for action and understanding. Arjuna therefore wanted to clear up these apparently confusing matters so that any common man could accept them without misinterpretation. Although Krishna had no intention of confusing Arjuna by any jugglery of words, Arjuna could not follow the process of Krishna consciousness either by inertia or active service. In other words, by his questions, he is clearing the path of Krishna consciousness for all students who are serious about understanding the mystery of Bhagavad Gita.
Srila Prabhupada continues, yes, sometimes it appears to the student contradictory, but actually the master who is well conversant, he does not say anything contradictory. It is the misunderstanding of the student that sometimes he thinks that it is contradictory. Therefore, the question is allowed. You will find that the student is advised to question to the spiritual master. Tatvidhi. You should understand the transcendental science by the process of first thing is surrender, then question and seva, service. Surrender and service and question. Simply if you question and don't surrender, don't render any service, then it will be simply waste of time. Just like Arjuna was talking in the beginning with Krishna's friends, so Krishna was talking very cautiously because it was friendly talk. But when Arjuna surrendered unto him, I accept you as my spiritual master, he is talking freely. This is going on. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues. 3. The Blessed Lord said, O sinless Arjuna, I have already explained that there are two classes of men who realize the self. The contemplative are inclined to understand it by empirical philosophical speculations, and the active are inclined to know it by devotional service. Bhagavad Gita 3:3. Purport. In the second chapter, verse 39, the Lord has explained two kinds of procedure, namely Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga.
Srila Prabhupada elaborates, Sankhya Yoga. Sankhya means analyzing the material elements and dovetail it with the Supreme. This is called Sankhya Yoga. Samyak Khyapayate, or things are very explicitly explained for understanding of the common man. That is called Sankhya Yoga or Jnana Yoga. And another is Karma Yoga or Buddhi Yoga. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues. In this verse, the Lord explains the same more clearly. Sankhya Yoga, or the analytical study of the nature of spirit and matter, is the subject for persons who are inclined to speculate and understand things by experimental knowledge and philosophy. The other class of men work in Krishna consciousness, as explained in verse 61 of the same second chapter. The Lord has explained also in verse 39 that by working under the principles of Buddha Yoga or Krishna consciousness, one can be relieved from the bondage of action. And furthermore, there is no flaw in the process. The same principle is more clearly explained in verse 61, that this Buddha Yoga is to depend entirely on the Supreme, or more specifically, on Krishna, and in this way all the senses can be brought under control very easily. Therefore, both the yogas are interdependent, as religion and philosophy. Religion without philosophy is sentiment, or sometimes fanaticism, while philosophy without religion is mental speculation. The ultimate goal is Krishna.
Srila Prabhupada continues. There are certain class of men who are simply philosophizing, and there are certain class of men who are simply following religious ritualistic process. So Bhagavad Gita is combination of both. That is scientific. You should be religious, but should understand everything philosophically. Otherwise, one becomes fanatic, religious fanatic. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is clearly said that Chaitanya Dayara Katha Karaha Vichar. You people, you try to understand the gifts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by your philosophical understanding, not blindly, philosophically. And Vichar Kali Chite Paibe Chamatkar. If you are actually wise men, then you will find it is sublime. And if you simply stick to your own religious ritualistic principles, don't try to understand the philosophy of everything, then you become a fanatic. So we should not become religious fanatics, nor dry mental speculators. Both these classes of men are dangerous. They cannot make any advance. The combination, you should be religious, but try to understand each and every line philosophically. Just like in the Bible, there is the statement, quote, God created this universe, end quote. It is a fact. But because modern educated persons have not explained how God created, how the process of creation, these things are explained in the Bhagavad. How the sky became in existence, then the air became in existence, the fire became in existence. There's a process, general graduation. Actually, God has created the world. There's no doubt about it. But because it is philosophically explained, the modern educated persons, they don't accept. Because it is not philosophically explained. The modern educated persons, they don't accept. So Bhagavad Gita, you will find everything. A combination of religious sentiments plus philosophical understanding. That is wanted. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues the purport. The ultimate goal is Krishna, because the philosophers who are also sincerely searching after the absolute truth come in the end to Krishna consciousness. This is also stated in the Bhagavad Gita. The whole process is to understand the real position of the self in relation to the superself. The indirect process is philosophical speculation, by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness. And the other process is by directly connecting with everything in Krishna consciousness.
Srila Prabhupada comments, yes, if you want to go to the goal by philosophical speculation, analyzing, this is not spirit, the neti, this is not Brahman, this is not spirit, that also will help you. But in this age, such philosophical study, not in this age, every age, that is a very long-term process. But when people lived for a very, very long time, it was possible to arrive at the goal of life by such process. But in this age, there is no time. I do not know what is going to happen to me just after coming out or while I'm sitting in this room.
Even a big man, President Kennedy, he was going in procession. He never expected that he will be shot, but he was shot. So there is no certainty of our life in this age. Therefore, we should take up the quick method of self-realization. The long-term method will not help us. We are not prepared for it neither. Therefore, the short-term, immediate, effective, chant Hare Krishna and immediate effect. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues the purport. The indirect process is philosophical speculation by which gradually one may come to the point of Krishna consciousness. And the other process is by directly connecting with everything in Krishna consciousness. Out of these two, the path of Krishna consciousness is better because the philosophical process does not purify the senses. Krishna consciousness,
Prabhupada continues. Philosophical process. You can show by jugglery of words your academic qualification, but it will not take you to the right. We have seen many such philosophical speculators. They are simply talking in the meeting, but that's all. And if we study their private character, it is less than ordinary man. Less than ordinary man. That will not help us in this age. You see, you may take some credit in a meeting.
Oh, he is a very nice speaker. So what is that if you become a very nice speaker? What will help you in your spiritual realization? That is, if you do not, if you do 1 minute Hare Krishna, it will give you immediate result. 1 second, if you can chant or hear. That is so nice. Direct method, immediate effect. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues the purport. Krishna consciousness is itself a purifying process, and by the direct method of devotional service, it is simultaneously easy and sublime. 4. Not merely by abstaining from work can one achieve freedom from reaction, nor by renunciation alone can one attain perfection. Bhagavad Gita 3:4.
Prabhupada. Yes, simply by. It is explained. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues. Purport. The renounced order of life can be adopted upon being purified by the discharge of prescribed form of duties. The prescribed form of duties is laid down just to purify the heart of materialistic men. Without the purifying process, one cannot attain success by abruptly adopting the fourth order of life, sannyas.
Here Srila Prabhupada continues to comment.
Renunciation is the fourth order of life according to Vedic civilization. Just like we are a sannyasi, so we were also a householder. I've got my wife still living, I've got my children, but I have been able to come to this stage of renunciation, forgetting all my relationship with my wife and children and family and home, because I was trained gradually. I was trained as brahmachari, as grihasta, by the mercy of our spiritual master. Therefore, I don't feel anything. But abruptly, if we take to sannyas order, then we have seen many persons abruptly taking or without understanding the self-realization process. He fails. He again comes back to the materialistic way of life in different form. Suppose he begins in philanthropic work, some hospitalizing or opening educational institution. That is nice, but these things are being done by the government and many philanthropic persons. That is not the duty of a sannyasi. A sannyasi, a renounced order of life, his main business is to spread Krishna consciousness or God consciousness. That is his real business. But if one has not the taste, what is Krishna consciousness? Simply accept sannyas, then he will do all this nonsense work. And of course, I don't wish to name. Some of our students went to a very big Swami here in New York. He found that he was smoking, and the student said, Swamiji, we don't smoke. And he was ashamed. He was ashamed. So what is the use of taking this kind of sannyas? Sannyas means to give up all material contaminated activities for the sake of the Supreme Lord. That is called sannyas. Sat, nyas, sannyas. This is the combination. Sat means the supreme, the ever existing, and nyas means renunciation. That means one who has renounced everything for serving the supreme. He is real sannyas. He may take this dress or not, that doesn't matter. Anyone who has sacrificed his life for service of the Supreme Lord, he is a sannyasi. That will be explained in the 5th chapter. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues the purport. According to the empirical philosophers, simply by adopting sannyas or retiring from fruitive activities, one at once becomes as good as Narayan, God. But Lord Krishna does not approve this principle. Without purification of heart, sannyas is simply a disturbance to the social order. On the other hand, if someone takes to the transcendental service of the Lord, even without discharging his prescribed duties, whatever he may be able to advance in the cause is accepted by the Lord. Swapam apyasya dharmasya trayate mahatobhayat.
Srila Prabhupada. Swalpam apiyasya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. Swalpam means very little. Api, although. Asya, of this Krishna consciousness. Dharmasya, occupation. Trayate, delivers. Mahato, great. Bhayat, fearfulness. Yes, go on.
Tamal Krishna continues. Even the slight performance of such a principle enables one to overcome great difficulty.
Srila Prabhupada responds, yes.
Tamal Krishna continues. 5. All men are forced to act helplessly according to the impulses born of the modes of material nature. Therefore, nobody can refrain from doing something, not even for a moment. Bhagavad Gita 3:5.
Srila Prabhupada, yes. They say, we saw one signboard in a yoga society in Los Angeles that
You become silent and you will become God. Srila Prabhupada laughs. And here Krishna says that you cannot become silent even for a moment. You see, these things are going on. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues purport. This is not a question of embodied life. It is the nature of the soul itself to be always active. The proof is that without the presence of the spirit soul, there is no movement of the material body. The body is only a dead vehicle to be worked by the spirit soul, and therefore it is to be understood that the soul is always active and cannot stop even for a moment. As such, the spirit soul has to be engaged in the good work of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it will be engaged in the occupations dictated by the illusory energy. In contact with material energy, the spirit soul acquires material modes, and to purify the soul from such affinity, it is necessary to engage it in the prescribed duties enjoined in the Shastras or scriptures. But if the soul is engaged in his natural function of Krishna consciousness, whatever he is able to do is good for him.
Srila Prabhupada comments, practically that is real silence. If you simply engage yourself in activities of Krishna consciousness,
Then automatically your activities in Maya become silent. Just like the same example I've given. Here is a glass. If you want to fill up with milk, the water will go automatically. You have to throw the water. You cannot put the water and the milk at the same time in this glass. Similarly, if you become active in Krishna consciousness, you automatically become silent in material activities without any separate endeavor. It is so nice. And if you try artificially to stop, to become silent from material activities, it will not be possible. You may meditate for 15 minutes or for 1500 minutes or 15,000 years. It will not be possible. The mind is very strong. Mind's business is to accept and reject, accept and reject. You accept something, you reject something. Better thing is that we accept something Krishna conscious under the direction of disciplic succession. That is your, should be the aim of life, and you are successful. You have to accept something. Simply by rejecting, it will not help you, but you have to accept something. That acceptance is Krishna consciousness. Simply negation will not help you. You must have some positive engagement. Go on.
Tamal Krishna continues the purport. The Srimad Bhagavatam affirms this. If somebody takes to Krishna consciousness, even though he may not follow the prescribed duties in the Shastras or execute the devotional service properly, or even if he falls down from the standard, there is no loss or evil for him. And even though he carries out all the injunctions for purification in the Shastras, what does it avail him if he is not Krishna conscious? So the purifying process is necessary for reaching this point. Sannyas, or any purifying process, is meant for helping one to reach the ultimate goal of becoming Krishna conscious, without which everything is considered a failure.
Here Srila Prabhupada stops mid commenting and he says, that's all. So any questions? The devotees offer obeisances. And Srila Prabhupada asks again, any question?
Jaya Gopal asks a question. So many people who stop performing prescribed duty to engage in so-called meditation, actually, they are committing sinful activity? Is this actually sinful activity to attempt such meditation like that?
Srila Prabhupada answers, meditation, that you can see from the result. You'll find so many persons meditating, but see their life. Phalena parichyate. One has to be judged by the result. You have worked very hard and supposed to be very rich man. But if I see that you have no nice apartment,
Neither any car, neither any opulence, so what kind of businessman you have earned? That can be understood immediately. So if on by practice of meditation is actually advancing in spiritual life, why is materially affected? What is the difference between a person materially affected and spiritually advanced? Take, for example, our students. We may not be very much highly advanced, admitting that. But at least if any gentleman comes, if he's sincere, he will appreciate how pure they are. At least they are practiced, you see? So by the result, one has to see. But we have seen so many meditators. They cannot change even their daily nonsense habits. So what result they have obtained? They have achieved? I cannot understand. By the result, one has to take account, not by simply jugglery of words. Just like there is examination. One student says, "Oh, I have studied so much." But when the examination was taken, he failed. So what does it mean that he studied? That means he did not study, that's all. The test is that spiritual advancement means minimizing material activities. Bhakti pareshanu bhavo viraktiranyatra syat. This is a quote from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th Canto, Chapter 2, verse 42. Automatically, they will be detestful for material entanglement. Spiritual advancement means that. Just like a hungry man, if you give him to eat, as soon as he begins to eat, immediately he will feel satisfaction. And when he is fully fed, he will say, "No, I don't want any more." So similarly, Spiritual advancement means proportionately one should be detestful to material engagement. That is the test. So, if anyone is advancing by meditation or bhakti yoga or Krishna consciousness, one has to give evidence that he is now being proportionally detached from this material engagement. That is the test. That is not for only the meditators, it is for you also. How far you are advancing in Krishna consciousness, you test yourself. How far you have become detached from material consciousness. That's all. The proportionately you have advanced in Krishna consciousness, the proportionately you are not like material engagement. If you advance the 10%, then 10% you become detached. That is the way. So everyone has to test himself. How far I've advanced. That means how far I've become detached with material contamination. That's all. The test is in your hand. And if you are sincere, then you should test yourself. And if you want to make show, that is different thing. That is explained in the second chapter, Sthita Pragya. The behavior of a person who has advanced in spiritual consciousness, that is explained. You have studied. He talks like that, he walks like that, he behaves like that. So many things they have been explained. These are the tests. So we may not be able to achieve all the success immediately, but everyone should try to follow. The meditation process is also one process. That is also one of the processes. That is good. But we simply say that the process is not, I mean to say, very fruitful in this age. In this age, this chanting of Hare Krishna is the most beneficial progress. That is our program. We don't deprecate the meditational process. That is a process, standard process. But we don't say, we have not manufactured. It is Shastra says, Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu, Srimad Bhagavatam 12:352. Meditation of Vishnu was possible in the Satya Yuga when people used to live for 100,000 of years. Just like Valmiki Muni, he meditated for 60,000 of years. He got perfection. Here it is very difficult even to meditate for 60 minutes at a time. You see, Kriteya Dhyayato Vishnu. That process was recommended in Satya Yuga. And the next process is Tretayam Yajato Makhai. The next stage, by performing great sacrifices. That is very costly affair. Nobody has money. Suppose if I prescribe performance of some sacrifice and if I order that you have to secure 100 tons of butter of ghee, can you secure? Oh, you see? So therefore that is not possible. Krite yadhyayato vishnum tretayam yajato makhai dvapare paricharyayam. Srimad Bhagavatam 12:352. Temple worship is also not possible. Temple worship, you go in India, there are some temples still. Daily they are spending thousands of dollars for temple worship. Daily. The process in Jagannath temple, 56 times offered prasad, and anytime you go, they will supply you prasad for 1,000 persons. It is already still, although India is being advertised, there is no food. But if you go to Jagannath temple anytime and ask the manager that we have come, 1,000 devotees, please supply us prasad? Yes, ready? Srila Prabhupada laughs, or its daughter. So that is being done. The arrangement is there since last 2,000 years. The Jagannath has property, there is production, there is good management. That is going on. Similarly, there is another temple, Nathdwar. They are also spending thousands of. In Madras also, there are many temples. There is a big estate. They are also collecting money daily, $4,000, $5,000 Yes, still, the temple arrangement is there. So that process is not to be introduced newly. It is not possible. Therefore, Bhagavad says, Krite yadhyayato Vishnum tretayam jajato makhai dvapara paricharyayam kalau. Kalau means the age. Tat dhari kirtanat. Simply by chanting, you get the result of sacrifice. You get the result of meditation. You get the result of temple worship. Here we are, of course, attempting to worship Jagannath with our teeny efforts. But if you go to the real Jagannath temple in Puri, you will see 56 times. When Lord Chaitanya was invited by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, so he gave him so much rice and vegetables and all these things. So he thought it is offered to Jagannath. So he asked Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, all right, give me little prasad. From this I shall eat. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, no, you eat the whole thing. Oh, how it is possible? Then he gave the example. Sir, you don't say like that. I know you are taking in the 56 times like this, and this is only a morsel of food for you, you see? And there's the laughter of the devotees. So actually, if you offer Krishna Prasad, fulfilling the whole hall as many times, 56 times means you have got only 24 hours. How many times in an hour? Without sleeping, without doing anything. Krishna will accept. Krishna will accept. And I want it. You American people, you have got so much money. You engage your money in that way. Don't spoil your life by this way and that way. So you can do that. You have got enough. Sufficient means to offer Krishna 56 times. You see? Just see the result. That is utilization. That is karma yoga. One has the capacity to earn like anything and to spend for Krishna like anything. That is karma yoga. It is not inertia. I have got chanting Hare Krishna. I shall go and sit down, eat at the expense of others and chant Hare Krishna. No. This is karma yoga. Pranair arthar dvija vacha. You have to employ your life, your money, your words, and your intelligence, all for Krishna. That is Krishna consciousness. If you have got enough money, spend it for Krishna. Don't stock it. The more you spend, more you become balanceless for spending Krishna. Then more you are benefited. This is the process. That will be taught in Karma Yoga section. And how can one, unless one is spiritually advanced, how he can sacrifice his hard-earned money for Krishna? Everyone thinks, oh, I've earned this money working so hard. Why shall I spend it for Krishna? Let me keep it. I shall do it for my sense gratification. This is the kind of this kind of advancement is no value. You see how one has learned to sacrifice everything for Krishna. Just like Arjun, he sacrificed his whole family for Krishna. In the beginning, he hesitated. How I can kill my family members and fight? And when he became Krishna conscious, never mind, I shall kill all of them. This is called sacrifice. This is Krishna conscious. He sacrificed all sentiments, all connection, everything for Krishna. This is called sannyas, real sannyas. Although he was a warrior, a fighter, a householder, having more than 1,000 wives, but he was sannyas because he sacrificed everything for Krishna. That is wanted. That is Krishna conscious. So everyone can test how far he has advanced simply by this. How far I've become prepared to sacrifice everything for Krishna. He doesn't require to take certificate from others. He can test himself. How far am I prepared? Then it is all right. This is the standard. All right? Chant Hare Krishna. Devotees offer obeisances. Srila Prabhupada says, you are not getting another mridanga? You have no money?
Tamal Krishna says, we have no money yet.
Srila Prabhupada says, oh, and he laughs. All right, If you require, you can get. I will pay you money.
Tamal Krishna says, we'll pay you. We'll get some more.
Srila Prabhupada says, that's all right.
Madhavisa says, we have money. We will get one very soon.
Srila Prabhupada says, you ask somebody to give you one mridanga. Contribute. If he asks where it is available, you can give the address and he can send the money there. It is not a very difficult task. What do they charge? $50?
Tamal Krishna, yes.
Srila Prabhupada says, so ask somebody to give $50. Send to New York. Yes, we don't want cash. Give us in kind. That is also nice. Yes. And the kirtan begins. Prabhupada said, what is that? What is that? What is that?
Dayananda says, it's a pie.
Prabhupada says, pie?
Dayananda says, a pie, yes.
Prabhupada said, it will be offered to the deity?
Dayananda, yes.
Prabhupada says, it is to be offered to the deity.
Oh, Dayananda says, yes.
So Prabhupada says, so why are you sitting here?
Dayananda, inaudible, indistinct.
So Srila Prabhupada says, oh, all right, sit down. And the kirtan continues. And then Prabhupada says, Vaman Dev, it is fainting. And the rest is
Shaking.
Srila Prabhupada said, yes. When I stand, it will be, and there's inaudible going.
Vamanadev says, there should be more steps here for you. I notice it's too.
Srila Prabhupada said, it's not steady. No, still the platform is not tight. You should.
Tamal Krishna says, it needs support, more supports.
Prabhupada said, yes, because you should have, and there's a pause. What is that?
Jai Gopal says, it looks like a chestnut.
Srila Prabhupada says, chestnut? And there's the sound of eating.
Tamal Krishna says, it would be nice if we had a new altar for the deities. When the new deities are installed, if we could have a new altar, that would be nice.
Srila Prabhupada said, yes, that will be changed. And there's inaudible dialogue, or some Prabhupada says something more. We shall do that. First of all, let us have the new deity. And then, unfortunately, there's some break in the tape. That will be discussed later on. We have come to the chapter it will discuss.
Devotee says, Prabhupada, would you like to take a piece of pie home with you?
Prabhupada said, what is that?
Devotee, it's a squash pie with raisins and banana and chestnut and anise.
Prabhupada said, why did you not give me in the beginning?
Devotee, it wasn't all ready.
Prabhupada said, we shall take later on. We shall take it later on.
Devotee, I was going to give the remainder of it to Sankirtan to take to the house.
Prabhupada said, let them take them.
Devotee, okay, would you like to take a piece with you?
Prabhupada said, yes, you can give it. And there's a pause, and suddenly says, I have taken. And that's the end of the
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Jai.
Wow, that's great. Nice. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Hi. You are there.
Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah, this is how we learn. It's
Yes.
not so much even what we learn, but how we learn too.
Yes. Trying to we were not there at the time Srila Prabhupada gave the lecture. I didn't even hear the tape. So I'm trying to feel Srila Prabhupada, it's like what he must have sounded like.
Try and get in the mood.
Yes.
To
Yes, trying to find
enter into their moods, because their moods are in relationship to a pure devotee. So then we can, again, that osmosis thing. It's really
Yes.
nice.
This was nice though, isn't
You're
it?
totally inspired. You are so inspired. This is great. This is terrific. Yeah, it's great.
This
Yeah.
is a mercy, Mataji.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's kind of, I can relate to this. It makes it so alive.
Well, it's Prabhupada Leela. And you enter into Prabhupada Leela by studying and doing like this. Just like
Yes,
you enter Krishna Leela by studying and doing your Chaitanya Leela. Whatever the different Leelas is Prabhupada Leela.
this is Prabhupada Leela.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So nice.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you
Wow.
for allowing me to read with
You know,
you.
by association, it takes on a whole, like, people are listening to these lectures and they're appreciating, and
I'm
they're reading the transcripts and they're appreciating. But in association, there's a
yes.
whole new
It's
dimension. It's Hare Krishna.
one has to do it to feel it because we can't describe how it is like. One has to just really do it. It's completely different.
Wow. Hare
Some
Krishna.
some people may say, why do what is this? Trying to imitate what Srila Prabhupada said. They can just listen to the lecture, but
Yeah, right, right.
reading it's just different. I don't know, it's just so different.
It's a very effective, I don't know what the word would be, um, very effective medium, play acting.
Yes,
And this is how Rupa Goswami presented so many, trying to teach about Krishna Lila. How are you going to teach about Krishna Lila? Just to
yes,
hear about it? No, but he created plays, Lalita Madhava, Vidagda Madhava, so that could actually have access to the Lila. So, yeah, I mean, anyway, it's great. I'm really happy.
I'm too happy. I'm very happy too, Mataji. I'm
Yeah,
happy because you're happy.
yeah. I mean, this is your association. I'm truly blessed that you
Yeah,
want to do these kinds of things. It's Krishna. It's like it's really cutting edge. We're really kind of exploring the possibilities in Krishna consciousness. How
Krishna's
to get the
giving
mercy.
Krishna's
Yeah,
giving the intelligence.
I think so.
And so
And
it's just like, yeah, it was just an idea, but then when I told you, you thought was good idea, and doing it is just like such a yeah. I feel such a nectar. Such nectar coming out of it. And the last bit of interaction is so sweet.
yeah, about the pie.
Yes, and I think when we read the conversations, that's also in the conversations. They are also so nice.
Yeah.
But because we focus only on Bhagavad Gita and we're reading this, it's like anyway, some other we're trying to take everything in that Srila
You know,
Prabhupada.
yeah, it's like, I don't know about you, but I'm stumbling around in the dark. I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm stumbling around. Where's
Where is Krishna?
yeah. And so stumble onto something like this.
Yes,
Hare Krishna.
yes, Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a whole new
Yeah.
devotional experience.
Yes, this was nice. Srila
Yeah.
Prabhupada ki jai. You know what I'm
Hare
saying?
Krishna.
I'm here lying sick in bed, and I can I'm
Hare-
here- I'm so unpresentable that I don't want to see anyone to see me.
like like a complete mess, right? Yeah.
Yes, like my eyes are popped up,
Not even bathed properly or anything. Yeah.
right? Because I've been sick, and
Hare-
so Srila Prabhupada, so merciful.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna.
So this is where we really get the feeling how we are just not these bodies.
No, no.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Uh,
Yeah, I pray. I pray.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada.
Okay, is that it? You want to go? We just do that today?
Yes, Mataji, I think, yes, I think it's wise to not to go on too long.
Yeah.
So I can recover and then be more fully present. And reading that, I forgot that I was sick.
I know it didn't sound sick at all.
So because it was like Srila Prabhupada's energy.
All right.
I think Srila Prabhupada is enjoying it. I don't know. He was trying doing this? He must be smiling.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. I think so. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna.
Kamala. inspired.
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That was nice, Mataji. Really nice.
Yeah, to
It's
be continued.
to be
You know,
continued. Yes,
I mean, we
exactly.
don't know where this is going, and it's going very quickly. I mean, things are expanding, and inspiration is coming, enlivenment is coming. It's actually happening very quickly. So, with Krishna, things can happen very quickly.
Yes, and the
The
purification
whole
is good.
ocean, just ask the Jewish people, the whole ocean parts, they'll tell you, yeah, the Red Sea parted.
There's so much. There's so much to explore. There's so much to find out.
With
And
with Krishna and Prabhupada as the
yes,
guide. Yeah.
yes, yes. Srila Prabhupada has given so much,
Mm.
so much. It's so deep. It's like it's Krishna. It's just like Krishna is, unending. He's like, how can we ever understand if we can only get one drop of it? If we can, just
You can drown.
taste.
You can drown in a drop.
Yeah, we can draw in a drop.
Mhm.
Drown in a drop. If we just taste one drop of that sweetness of interacting with Krishna, being there,
And then the whole material world shrinks
it's
to the size
finished.
of a puddle in a calf's hoof print.
Yes, yes. As Srila Prabhupada says, we can test ourselves. We have seen how much we become detached from material activities.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. And until we get to a point where we're really becoming detached, then there's the dovetail program.
Yes, the taste when the taste is there, we will enjoy. It should be then we know we'll be no more hungry, no more thirsty. We'll not even want to sleep. We will want to go on for 24 hours a day, hearing and chanting.
Yeah.
And so that would
Well, let's just go step by step.
yes, yes. I'm still trying to make it to a session.
I know you're ready to soar to the heights. I know.
I'm trying to crawl to the
I
session.
am too. I am too. But
Yes,
I was thinking, I said yesterday, like an accordion. No, that was the wrong. It's like a caterpillar. You ever see a
yes,
caterpillar? It goes like this.
right.
And the back end is still over here, and then the back end has a
Yes, it kind of jumps over and
yeah.
everything like that. So
Mm.
one step. Yes, it's kind of feeling. Can I put the next step or not?
Mm.
But anyway, every time we make it is a victory. I was feeling so sick. I thought I'm not sure if I made it. And 10 before 4, I thought, I'm just going to log in and see how it goes. So
I'm so glad you did. I really am.
I'm so glad that I did. Yes. So just like experience upon experience, then
What I do is when there's no association, because I don't want to just associate for the sake of associating. That always,
right.
I really want to do things like we're doing,
Yes.
get into, to see how to take advantage, hearing and chanting and absorbing the consciousness. And so I'll just read and record something because there's lots to do. I'm, working on Lord
Yes.
feature. I'll just read and record and chant my rounds and then do a few simple things around where I live, maybe clean something.
Yes, Mother. You have a nice program.
You were just praying for association, So please take care of yourself.
I will, Mataji. Thank you very much for your association. Till
Hey,
the next time.
we never know.
I will keep trying.
It's a plan. We never know what's in store. I don't know on my end what's in store. I have no idea.
Yes. Krishna
Whatever
willing.
you do is like a miracle. That's why I say it's a miracle every time.
We are all dependent on the mercy of Krishna and Srila Prabhupada.
Yeah.
They
All
can
right.
lift us up and give us the strength.
Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances.
Oh,
All
glory.
glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare.
Hare Krishna.